Alongside Boss Root, Todd Harris, glad to have you with us. And David Branch with a little bit of attitude, guys. This is something I'm sure Kayla feeling a little pressure getting this title shot with Lewis Taylor in front of the hometown crowd.
Absolutely. You know, being the hometown crowd favorite, I think it brings a little bit extra pressure into the cage. It's not just you there, it's all of your friends, family, teammates watching you and supporting you. So.
And Boss, let's talk about Lewis Taylor. This guy is no slouch, 5'11", 185, and he's put together really well.
You know, and he has a 6-fight winning streak. His nickname is Put the Guns Down, and he actually did that in his last 6 fights. Won 5 times by submission and 1 by knockout. So normally he was a headhunter, but suddenly he has a great submission game. So
yeah, he's gonna have to be careful though. Branch is a Henzo Gracie black belt, so I think it's gonna be interesting if they take it to the ground.
You talk about Lewis Taylor, 7 wins coming by way of the guillotine choke, and both fighters trying to set the pace early here with David Branch in the yellow trunks and Lewis Taylor in the blue.
Yeah, normally the guillotine, you see that when somebody tries to take you down, and that's where the guillotine comes. And if you're a good striker, that's the first submission you learn. It's actually the first submission I learned because everybody was shooting from my legs. And but yeah, like Kayla already said, you know, Henzo Gracie black belt. It's going to be hard to submit Mr. Branch over there.
Taylor also with a strong background in wrestling, wrestled collegiately at Eastern Illinois University.
Well, Taylor's saying that patience is the biggest thing he's learned from mixed martial arts, so let's see if he can remain patient here and not make any mistakes early in this fight.
Certainly do not want to rush in on an athlete like David Branch. Boss, can David Branch get this victory and never go to the ground on this one? Can he just keep this thing a striking match?
Yeah, he should. I would do that. Then again, you know, Lewis has some power in his hands.
Sure.
But with the reach advantage, keeping him on the outside, great footwork that he's doing right now. Never go straight backwards, always to the side. He's doing a great job. You see, the punches that are connecting on the way out, so they don't really have power on them anymore.
Kayla, you know a thing or two about defending titles as a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, but defending 2 titles in 2 different weight classes.
Now that's something I've never done. Not many people have.
David Branch, of course, the reigning middleweight champion and also the light heavyweight champion.
You gotta wonder how that weight change affects his game. So far, so good though.
Oh, beautifully timed.
Yep.
Very nicely done. You saw he went for the go-to guillotine, but Branch popped out. He knew that was going to happen.
David Branch certainly doing his homework on Lewis Taylor. Taylor just keeping the tension tight, not letting David Branch posture up and use that advantage. And Branch, look at that scramble to the back and takes the back of Lewis Taylor.
Yeah, he's a hard guy to get off now. Bout hooks in, looking for the rear naked.
Taylor doing a great job there, turning it into him.
Very well done. But Branch felt it coming, kept control. You forgot to put that left hook in. Preferably you want to have that in there.
He's starting to sink it in though.
No.
Taylor's got to drop that chin.
He's in trouble.
David Branch trying to end this fight in the first round, scheduled for 5.
Yeah, he turned out. Nice job. But
this might be worse.
10 seconds. This is worse, yeah.
Still a minute to go, Kayla, as you look at Lewis Taylor just scrambling. As a fighter, you hear the situation. You hear the corner saying, be patient, take your time, but the blood is pumping, the adrenaline's going.
It's a difficult position to be in. He's gotta survive this round, regroup for next round.
David Taylor's not going to give him a break. Trained with Henzo Gracie, so he's constantly fishing for a submission. See both hooks in, Boss.
He's got good control, but you know, it's a pretty easy choke to defend if you know how, you know. And riding it out is indeed the smartest thing to do right now. Just regroup, you know, get an extra break, relax the core muscles so you...
Yeah, Taylor seems pretty composed here. I'm impressed.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Nice. Like you said, he stays relaxed. That was a really nice reversal here.
So Branch doing the same thing, employing the mat side rope-a-dope and just tying him up. as we come up on the final 12 seconds of this one. Championship bout in the middleweight division. David Branch in the yellow trunks, Lewis Taylor in the blue. We will have the second round when we return to New York City.
Up we go, boys. Good job.
As we enter round number 2 of this championship bout in the middleweight division, Todd Harris, Boss Room, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison and Joey Varner with you. Happy New Year, one and all. If you had your fill of football, this is a good place to land. We've got 3.5 hours of MMA coverage for you, first on NBCSN and then switching over at 4 o'clock on NBC. David Branch with his hands full here. Kayla, I'll turn to you first. How did you see that first round going? Who'd you give it to?
Yeah, I definitely give the first round to Branch. I think he was able to take him down, control him, be on top, get his hooks in, almost go for a couple chokes. So Taylor's got his work cut out for him this round.
Boss, you concur?
Yeah, exactly the same. And you know, you're already right away. Branch tried to take the fight to the ground, but this time Taylor stopped it.
As we come up on 4:50 go in round number 2 for an update on the David Branch corner, we check in with Joey Varner.
All right, Todd. Well, the corner of David Branch is very happy with his performance. They say they want him to get off first, put the pressure on. They feel like Taylor is fading and going to continue to fade. They said, this is your opportunity, this is your round, make it happen.
And it'll be interesting to see how patient. We heard David's corner tell him to be patient, take his time, but you know in David's mind, Boss and Kayla, he's a local boy, he wants to put on a great show, and he'd love to get a finish in Madison Square Garden.
He did say at the weigh-ins he's got a monster growing inside of him, and he's got to let him out. So let's see what happens.
Branch with some great striking.
You see all the muscles, the big muscles from Taylor, they start bloating up now. That means they're asking for a lot of oxygen. And this is a 5-round fight. If it goes to the championship rounds, is that going to favor Branch?
Watch them knees. Make sure you get belly.
Boy, David Branch's defense is so good. If you get a takedown on David Branch, that's a pretty big thing because his defense is so solid.
He uses a lot of different tools to make that defense so solid. I've actually been following him on Instagram. He's been doing some ballet to help with the flexibility.
Wow, look at that.
Kayla Harrison with the inside information.
Was he wearing a tutu?
No tutu that I saw, but
Darn. With a great picture for Instagram.
I think so too.
Let's do something with that, boys.
Nice left knee there.
Coming up on the halfway point, round number 2. This one's scheduled for 5. David Branch's middleweight belt on the line. Lewis Taylor in the blue trunks trying to figure out a way of getting Branch off the cage, and they break, and they'll take it back to the center. Wow. Branch with those leg kicks. I mean, that Taylor was committed to a combination, Boss, and one leg kick, and he's got to regroup and step back.
But still, you know, it's a single kick. You got to watch out for it. It can be countered. You'll take the kick. That's automatically the load up for you. Counter straight, right straight. It's a bad thing to do. I wouldn't do it.
Kayla, we talked a little bit at the start of when we brought you on board here about Ronda Rousey and what happened last night, UFC 207. I think a lot of people were expecting a much different outcome, taking nothing away from Nunes, but Ronda Rousey just seemed like maybe her time has passed as far as being inside the octagon.
I think a year off is a little bit too long. I think psychologically she's going to have to really dig deep and figure out what it is she wants. Maybe fighting's not it anymore.
And maybe her heart's not completely in it. You're good friends with her. You haven't talked with her yet, but as talented as she is, she's going to step back. She's not going to make a decision the next couple days.
No, I mean I think that would be a mistake to make a rash decision like that. I think she's been a fighter for a long time. She had an Olympic career long before she had an MMA career, and I think maybe it's just, you know, everyone has that day when they have to say, you know what, I've done everything I can do. It's time for me to walk away.
That's a decision only she can make. Kayla Harrison giving us an insight here on her friend Ronda Rousey after suffering a loss last night at UFC 207. We're all about WSOF NYC here. Glad to be in Madison Square Garden in the theater on New Year's Eve day as we come up on the final 50 seconds, round 2. This one's scheduled for 5. And this pace has been a little bit slower, Boss, in this round. Does this favor Taylor or Branch, do you think?
I think Taylor was slowing it down. It looked to me like he was breathing already.
And you know what? If you're going to beat the champ, you're going to have to bring more than that to the cage.
5 rounds, boss, is a big ask. After going 3, everyone trains for 15, but training for an extra 10 minutes of championship fighting.
Yes, and like I said, all the muscle he's carrying, it's going to backfire on him.
And Branch is used to that, you know, not just in this weight class, but in a weight class up with much heavier guys.
Absolutely. David Branch, 2-time champion in the World Series of Fighting, light heavyweight and here in the middleweight. And we will go to a 3rd round when we return to the theater. WSOF NYC live on NBCSN. Todd Harris, Boss Rutan, Kayla Harrison, and Joey Varner with you as we now enter round number 3 of this middleweight title bout between David Branch on the right, Lewis Taylor in the blue trunks on the top of your screen.
Whoa.
Lewis Taylor's got to make something happen here as he starts getting into the deep waters of these championship rounds coming up in 4 and 5. For update in his corner, we check in now with Joey Varner.
All right, Todd. Well, Lewis Taylor coaches are very pleased with his performance. They feel like he's winning this fight, and they feel like it's the wrestling that's getting the job done. They want to see more wrestling, but more importantly, they want to see him kicking and striking on the break.
Thank you, Joey. Nice left connecting there by Lewis Taylor, but as Boss Rutan will tell you, if you're going to punch, bring a combination.
Bring a combination, why not? If one connects, why not throw another one? Because the target is right there. Yeah.
I don't know if both of our experts here, Kayla Harrison and Boss Rutan, will concur with Lewis Taylor's coaches that he's winning the fight. But Kayla, have you ever been in a fight where you felt, maybe I'm not doing so well, but your coaches said, Kayla, you got this thing, you're winning it?
Absolutely not. My coaches would never say that to me.
He's going for the guillotine, and that's
He's done this before. He's done this before.
He does this 5 times in a row from his last 6 fights. So
David Branch now
may be in trouble.
He might be in trouble here, but
see how tall he is. He's been able to posture up, Boss, and you know, relieving that pressure on his neck.
That's what he needs to do. He cannot let it get cranked too much.
I can tell you from personal experience, it's not a fun position to be in. It doesn't feel good right now, you guys.
And Kayla, I'm guessing the ballet is not helping in this situation.
Maybe no ballet right now.
You know, but the worst thing is, if he does get out, like now, his arms, his shoulders are forward like the acid.
But you notice you didn't see the panic. David Branch is,
absolutely, remained calm.
Possibly losing his belt there as Lewis Taylor's trying to crank down. And Branch now instituting the short, sharp elbows to the face of Lewis Taylor.
Passing here, wants to go to half.
You gotta love Branch's composure, calm, cool, collected the whole time through.
Just halfway point of round 3.
There we go, half guard, no starts working, full mount. This could be the end of the fight. We got 2.5 minutes to go.
He's got his hooks in.
Oh, now he's gonna roll him over. Trying to roll Lewis Taylor over and sink it in.
He needs to get those hooks in.
Taylor's gonna scramble here.
Look at this. How about that setup? Referee taking a spill there, quickly back to his feet. Branch is doing such a great job of alternating punches, kicks, and then if Taylor releases that neck or lifts his chin up just a little bit, Branch is going to sink it in even tighter. Wow, great job, Lewis Taylor. So an opportunity for David Branch goes awry. As for Lewis Taylor, both men had their chances at a submission and couldn't finish it as we approach 90 seconds to go here in round 3.
Branch should go more for those knees. Once somebody starts breathing heavy, you know, it's hard to flex at the right moment.
Both guys looking tired, but I think Branch is in a little bit better shape right now.
Hands up, David. Pressure him down. Pressure. That's not when you're hurt. You gotta be careful. Hands up and pressure.
Taylor coming forward now with a nice jab combination. And he pays the price. Gets too close to David Branch with that reach advantage.
And there we go, another takedown. No, and maybe another guillotine attempt. He's got to watch out. He's already locked it out.
Branch.
Move.
Yeah, Branch coming forward a little bit awkwardly there, boss, and then Taylor immediately fishes for that.
Dave's really going to have to watch his follow-through on that double leg if he doesn't want to get guillotined.
That's it. Yeah, he can break the grip like that, put his knee on it.
Under 30. Final 10 seconds of round number 3. It looks as if we're heading to a round 4 with the middleweight belt on the line. Branch and Taylor, round 4 when we return to New York City.
There we go, boys. Good job.
Wishing you and yours a very happy new year in 2017 as we close out 2016 at WSOF NYC inside the theater, Madison Square Garden. Middleweight belt on the line. David Branch in the yellow trunks, Lewis Taylor in the blue. And Kayla Harrison, that last round maybe a little more difficult as it went back and forth, but Lewis Taylor certainly had his moments.
Definitely, absolutely. A couple times there, he had Branch in trouble.
All right, boss, this is where you find out what you're made of. You go into the deep waters with the defending champion, David Branch, and Lewis Taylor. Does he change his game up at this point at all? Does he go to more striking? Does he try to get this thing to the ground, or just stick with what's got him his 13 wins so far?
You know, I would start attacking the body now more. Really start using front kicks, especially with his long legs that he has. Set up a 1-2 with a liver kick to the body, but start attacking the body. Started interrupting the breathing pattern from Taylor, who needs his air right now. You saw it before he went into the corner in the minute break. He had his hands on his knees. That's not a good sign.
Beautiful feint from David Branch.
He looks fresh here now, actually.
Yeah,
It's a good thing. It means there's a lot of heart.
Really well.
Yep. It's got a lot of heart. You know, a lot of these fighters, they can be really tired, but they just have a big heart and they just keep going. That was a nice stiff jab.
Mind will quit before the body ever will.
That's it.
And a low shot there, inadvertently coming from Lewis Taylor. He has been warned before by the official.
Stay there.
A lot of it's the knees as Taylor stands just under 5'11". Branch goes a solid 6'1".
I realize he's got his height. He's clipping, he's grazing. He's not really impacting the fight. How you feel right now?
Good.
You're good? Yep. All right, I'm going to give him his last and only. I realize there's a height difference. You still got to be cognizant of where your knee lands, all right? That's 3 that you've grazed him now. All right, be aware of it. You ready? Timer! Height!
And now in the back of the mind of Lewis Taylor, he's going to be thinking twice about throwing those knees, especially Boss and Kayla, when he gets into a clinch.
Yep, it's going to give him pause for thought, and 1 split second is all it takes to end this fight.
You absolutely can't. Also, he can't use a red card now.
Yeah.
You know, so if he does it one more time, he gets a red card, that's gone. The round. Oh, that was nice.
Double flying knee, and Branch makes him pay the second time around. So Lewis Taylor goes into a closed guard. David Branch now trying to get loose those big arms and see what kind of damage he can do now.
Branch needs to cross face, needs to break that grip, sit up straight. These punches count, but they're not going to do any damage. That's a much better position because you can sit more up straight so you can create more space for your strikes.
So now it's a single. Does Branch try to pass here, Boss and Kayla, and go for the full mount?
He probably will because he did it 2 times.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
He's thinking in his mind right now, what would Kayla do? WWKD, what would Kayla do?
He's saying right now, what would she say right now?
You just got to shake it off.
So David Branch coming up on 2 minutes to go here in round 4, trying to defend his title in the middleweight division, also holding the title belt, the World Series of Fighting, in the light heavyweight division.
Oh, that was your favorite jab, right? Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
T-Swift.
There we go.
You got to wonder, David just fought 3 months ago, and I'm wondering if that's affecting his performance today. It's really, really hard for an athlete to peak twice so close together in a year. Usually once or twice a year is all you can manage as an elite athlete.
And boss, we know David pretty well. We work with him. He's done some television like Kayla's doing here. He's pretty committed to this craft. It's not something that's like, oh, you know, I'm going to take a weekend off and cheat what I eat. He is religious about what he eats, nutrition, hydration, his workout. I mean, the man is committed. We've seen Conor McGregor, people talking about him. You can't have 2 belts. You can't defend it. David's done it, and he's doing it.
Yeah, Taylor should try to trap the right arm from Brandt and throw him to the left for his.
Look at this.
Not anymore now.
Wow, Taylor just avoided a major problem right there as Branch crawling up ever so slightly, trying to get that full mount. And you see Taylor locking on that left leg of David Branch, not letting him go and not letting him posture up.
He can just work from half guard as well. He's looking for a mount now, for one, but you know, when he's so tall, just sit up and start raining down.
I think David Branch might be using the beard as a weapon too. He's got that, he's just scrubbling with it. It's like a Brillo pad working the face of Lewis Taylor.
Brillo pad, he's gonna be shiny.
David's not gonna like me saying that about his beard. It's strong. His beard game is strong.
It's very Greekish.
He looks fresh.
Yeah, his eyes. There you go.
Well, maybe not fresh, but.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We've been in this situation a bunch of times.
wow.
That was a big
15
shot.
seconds.
Now the mount and free arms to fly. What can David get done in the final 10?
Man, I would unload.
We will go to the
Absolutely.
5th and final round when we return to the Big Apple. We have reached the 5th and final round in this middleweight bout between the champion David Branch in the yellow trunks and Lewis Taylor in the blue trunks. And now we find out just how good the conditioning was in the camp of Lewis Taylor, because David Branch has been here before, boss. He's gone to the deep waters of 5 championship rounds. Taylor's going to be testing him, but gotta pick his spots.
He's got to really pick his spots, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, when Taylor was asked how MMA has changed his life, he said, it's given me something to dream for. And now he's in the final round of what every fighter dreams of, a championship fight.
Under 4.5 minutes away, it's either going to be David Branch retaining his title or Lewis Taylor taking it. And for more on Lewis Taylor and his corner, let's check in with Joey Varner.
All right, Todd. Well, there's a big sense of urgency coming from the coaches of Lewis Taylor. They said he has to win this round. He might have to finish the fight. This right here, the takedown, is what they wanted to avoid. They wanted to say right hands, feint that jumping knee and throw a head kick, but they wanted him to avoid being on his back at all costs.
All right, thank you, Joey. This isn't really necessarily, boss, a stall tactic, but when it goes to the ground, David Branch seems to just like cover him like a wet blanket. He's just not a lot happening, and he's safe.
Yeah, he's just very top heavy, good control, you know, and laying against the cage, so he cannot be reversed against that side. He only has to be worried about his right side.
I agree with Taylor's corner. I think he's going to have to finish him if he wants to hold that title.
And this may not have a lot of sizzle in the world of MMA, but David Branch, Kayla, is doing a very smart thing right here. He's controlling what Taylor can do. He's not going to get caught with a wild overhand right.
Absolutely. You got to play smart. He's in a really good position now, though.
Look at this. He's going to take the back.
Oh, he's going again.
David would love to get a finish in Madison Square Garden, and look at this. It's in pretty deep.
It's not under, but still, the jaw can push it in there.
That's it. That is it. David Branch has done it. Classy move by Lewis Taylor, and David Branch on his home turf defends his title and gets the stoppage. And with the official decision, we set it inside the cage, Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 2 minutes of round number 5. Your winner, and still the World Series of Fighting middleweight champion of the world,